Hi, I'm Vikram and welcome back to A Roll of Film. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the Agfa Click III. The Agfa Click series of cameras was manufactured from 1959 all the way up to the 1970s. And the Click came in four variants. That is the Click 1, the Click 2, the Click 3 and the Click 4. Out of these cameras, the Click 1 and the Click 2 were available in Europe, while the Click 3 and Click 4 were specially manufactured for the Indian market by Agfa in India. The manufacturing process was licensed to the New India Industries in Baroda, and they manufactured this camera, the Click 3 and the Click 4, all the way up to the late 70s and early 80s. Now, the Click 3 is very similar to both the Click 1 and the Click 2 in the sense that it shares, it's sort of an amalgamation of both the cameras, and it is really a very simple box point and shoot camera. It is a medium format camera and has 120 film with 6x6 format, which means you can get about 12 shots in a roll of 120 film. It has a very simple lens, a single coated 72mm 8.8 lens, and with a fixed focus. The minimum focus distance is about 3 meters and all the way to infinity. And the sweet spot is somewhere between 5 to 6 meters. So if you're 5 to 6 meters away from the camera, that would be the sweet spot for this camera. It also has 3 aperture settings, which are marked cloudy, shade, and sunny. So very simple to use. You have this lever on the left hand side which allows you to change your your aperture setting. Now the cloudy aperture is 8.8 as the lens is an 8.8 lens. The shade is approximately 11, while the sunny setting is 16. Aperture f16. So you have basically 8.8, 11 and f16. It also has fixed shutter speed. There's only one shutter speed. It doesn't have a B bulb function, and there is no self timer. So basically, it just has one shutter speed, and which is approximately 1/30th of a second. So 1/30th of a second and 3 apertures, which is f8.8, f11 and f16. Very simple, straightforward camera. It has a viewfinder, optical viewfinder, very simple, and you have to be a little careful when looking through this viewfinder because it doesn't exactly match with the lens. So a little bit of adjustment. With a little bit of practice, you get used to it. The good thing about this camera is that you can attach a flash. Now this flash, the flash shoe here is got a Klebo setting. It's called a Klebo flash. So if only a flash with a Klebo clamp would be used with this camera, and Agfa manufactured a special flash in India just for the Click 3. I think it's called the Agfa A1 or something like that. So it's a very simple camera, very easy to operate. Really nothing much to it. Here you have this knob here, plastic knob, which you can use to forward the film. It has a small red window here, red glass window or rather plastic window through which you can see which frame you're on. And it's simple to open. Just push this down and the back opens up. Put your film in here, take it out and just load it and then put it back in. And this camera is made of bakelite, a material called bakelite, which is an early form of plastic. So it's extremely light and very handy. Well, this was my first camera, and I suspect the first camera of a lot of people in India. And I cut my teeth on photography with this camera. I used it for a good, well into the late 80s. This was my, not late 80s, I think up to about 85 or 86, mid 80s. This was my workhouse. So with this camera that I learned the basics of photography. I still remember the time when my father presented me with this camera. He took me into his room, sat me down, and took out the camera and explained how to use it. In those days, I was very interested in ships, and we were living in Calcutta, so I also remember going out with him to the Hooghly River. There's a place called the Strand, which was very, very popular with people there. You could go there and relax, the riverfront. And I remember that the Indian Coast Guard Coast Guard vessel called the INS Kadmat had docked there, and it was open to the public. The public could go and have a look at the ship. And being interested in ships, my father took me there. So we spent a good, nice morning photographing along the dock. And so I even took my first wildlife photograph with this camera. I remember this trip to Bandipur. I think it was maybe in the early 80s. I had gone there, and we had gone to Bandipur, gone on a safari, and there was this tusker standing in the middle of the road, the safari road, and I took a shot with this. And that was my first wildlife photograph. Of course, everything was black and white. You could use color film in this, no problem, but those days color was really not. It was very expensive and very difficult to get in India. And if that was not enough, recently, about a couple of months ago, when I was going through my old stuff, I found some of these old photographs of mine, which I had taken. And as luck would have it, they were the photograph from the very first roll that I've ever taken. A photograph of a ship in the Hooghly River, taken from the Strand. And of course, there were a lot of other photographs, including a photograph of a white tiger I had taken in the Darjeeling Zoo. I used to do a lot of zoo photography at that time, so there were a lot of wildlife photographs taken in the zoo. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and as a special treat, I'm going to just put up those photographs, my old photographs from this Click 3 for you to have a look. And I also happened to find an old newspaper advertising in Click 3, so I've added a quick shot of that also in this series of photographs that's just about to follow. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and if you did, please like and subscribe to my channel, and also please share the video. Thank you.